More of a team player, I echoed, my voice remarkably steady as my nails dug into my palm under the desk. Across from me, my manager Helen McBride, a woman in her mid-50s with a blazer that seemed a size too small and a smile that was far too polished, sat in her corner office overlooking the vibrant expanse of downtown Chicago. She leaned back, her tone dripping with syrupy sweetness. "Camille, you're brilliant, truly, but Rachel, she's got this undeniable charm. People genuinely enjoy being around her. She's simply easier. Easier, not more capable, not more accomplished, just easier." I was 41 then, having joined Westlake Strategies at 35, a significant leap from my previous teaching career into the cutthroat world of corporate strategy. Life with my all-in spirit. 6 years of burning the midnight oil, last-minute presentations, and rescuing client accounts no one else dared to touch. I doubled our Midwest portfolio, overhauled a crucial training system, and slashed operational waste by a staggering $2 million. Yet Rachel, with her lunchtime selfies and meticulously crafted girl boss pronouncements, snagged the promotion. I saw Helen feign busyness, expecting my gratitude and gracious acceptance. Instead, I smoothly placed a crisp white envelope on her desk. "I appreciate the feedback," I stated, with a serene smile. "Here's my resignation. Effective 2 weeks from today." Helen's composure fractured. "Camille, wait, let's discuss this." "There's no need," I stated. "You were clear, and I'm driven by results. That's precisely why I'm departing." What she remained unaware of, what no one had grasped, is that while Rachel was preoccupied with appeasement, I had been meticulously building my own leadership development firm, fully registered, quietly expanding, and profitable since Q2. Today, I didn't lose. I simply outgrew the confines of this space. If you resonated with every word as if it were your own narrative, remember to subscribe and follow. As I exited her office, a palpable shift surged through the bustling North River floor of Westlake Strategies. Heads turned, conversations hushed, and I could already picture Rachel envisioning her girl boss poster above my vacated desk. But I moved with unwavering purpose, returning to my own space, as if it were any ordinary Monday, because, little did they know, walking away wasn't admitting defeat. It was an epic leveling up, a move that would utterly eclipse Helen's promotion decision, revealing it for the laughable charade it truly was. That resignation letter was a game changer, a bombshell poised to shock Helen with her craft coffee. For 2 weeks, Rachel strutted through the office, latte in hand, basking in her own imagined spotlight. On day 4, she peered over in my cubicle, a smug half-smile playing on her lips. "I hope you're not too devastated," she purred. "I know how badly you coveted that position." I met her gaze for a fleeting moment, calmly initiating a backup of 3 years' worth of crucial data, training resources, and workflow improvements. Not to take, but documenting every dollar saved, every system design, and every outcome attributed to my team. "With absolutely no hard feelings, Rachel," I said with a cool smile. "You'll shine." She left satisfied, unaware of the foundation upon which those results were built. 3 years ago, fueled by frustration, I began developing proprietary adaptive team performance software, entirely off company time and resources. Last week, the patent was officially approved. That second page of my resignation letter detailed its profound impact. Millions in revenue and retention directly linked to my intellectual property. Just 1 week later, I received an email from Jared Lewis, CEO of Architect Solutions, our fiercest rival, Over coffee, he extended an offer that transcended mere employment. It was an invitation to co-own, to lead, to sculpt a shared destiny. He slid a contract across the table, his voice a calm, earnest promise. We've been anticipating someone of your caliber, someone who grasped that enduring legacies are forged by tangible results, not fleeting impressions. As my signature sealed the partnership, a profound metamorphosis ignited within. This was the essence of true validation, not the fleeting roar of applause for outward show, but the deep resonance of respect earned through genuine impact. On my last day at Westlake Strategies, the air was thick with the echoes of that pivotal moment. As I handed back my access badge, Helen summoned me to her glass-walled office for a final, unexpected meeting. The usual polished composure she exuded had fractured, her voice quivering. "Camille, we absolutely must discuss the report you attached to your resignation." She held up the printed document with noticeably stiff fingers, her gaze intense. "Why on earth did you never inform us about this platform you developed?" I settled into the chair opposite her, meticulously smoothing the hem of my navy blazer. "I did," I responded calmly. 3 separate proposals submitted over the past 2 years. Each was dismissed, with the stated priority being solely on improvement. Sparking interdepartmental synergy, her gaze devoured the reports, a ghostly pallor creeping across her features as the data solidified. Operational savings, automated workflows, predictive project forecasting. "And this is patented," she breathed, barely a whisper. I confirmed, filed last fall, fully approved, and I've already inked an equity partnership with RK Tech Solutions, poised for firm-wide expansion. Helen gasped, a sharp intake of breath. "Architect Camille, no. They're our fiercest competitor in the Midwest." "What about loyalty?" I countered, ... My head tilted, pondering your loyalty. Was it when you rewarded Rachel's charm over my tangible contributions? Or perhaps when you sidelined my proposals because I wasn't a master of hosting office happy hours? She opened her mouth, but I was already gone. If you genuinely valued output over insidious office politics, we wouldn't be in this predicament. We'll match their offer. "Senior Vice President," you pleaded, "just stay." It was never about the title. It was about feeling genuinely valued. As I walked away, I heard the frantic dialing behind me, but the damage was already irrevocably done. If you truly believe respect should be earned, not desperately begged for, ready to witness Camille's next groundbreaking creation, subscribe now to catch the thrilling chapter where she transforms from an underdog to an absolute powerhouse. The patent was secured, the partnership agreement officially inked, and as for Rachel, she was about to face a harsh reality. Charm might unlock doors, but only true substance ensures they don't slam shut behind you. That evening, as I gathered my belongings, a sticky note on my monitor caught my eye. "Sad to see you go. Stay in touch. Rachel." I smirked, crumpled it, and tossed it aside. She would soon understand. Stepping into Architect Solutions felt like entering another dimension, leaving behind bland walls and passive-aggressive Slack exchanges. My new office boasted breathtaking Lake Michigan views through floor-to-ceiling windows, a sleek design, and a door plate proclaiming Camille Bennett, Partner, Strategy and Systems Innovation. Yet, the true transformation wasn't the title, it was the profound respect. CEO Dare Lewis orchestrated a full all-hands meeting to personally welcome me. But this wasn't your average onboarding. Sharing my journey, he illuminated the groundbreaking platform I engineered, its significant quantifiable impact, and how it's already revolutionizing corporate operations. Kami isn't here to fill a void, Jared declared. She's here to pioneer a new frontier. Her work has already saved millions. It's brilliant. It's validated. And this is merely the dawn. At Westlake, I was an unseen force. At Architect, I was a visionary in the spotlight. Then, 3 months later, the defining moment arrived during a mid-strategy workshop when my phone buzzed with a message from Tariq Henderson. One of the shockwaves rippled through Westlake as a catastrophic Q2 systems breakdown unleashes a devastating client exodus, with the company hemorrhaging a staggering 30% of its clientele. The exposé paints a grim picture, detailing missed deadlines, spiraling budgets, and the loss of 3 marquee clients. An insider report reveals Westlake's internal infrastructure to be critically fractured, woefully outdated, and dangerously reliant on opaque, undocumented procedures. The gut punch quote from former client Thomas Kwan, CEO of Terra Nova Solutions, chillingly declares, "Service has collapsed. We once entrusted Westlake with enterprise-level integrations, and now they can't even deliver on basic timelines. It's as if the very backbone of their operations vanished." I smiled. Ted, I was that backbone, the system they'd undervalued, dismissed, and handed off to someone with zero understanding of how to sustain it. A second buzz, this time from Tarek. Rachel's having a full-blown meltdown in the break room. I leaned back, sunlight reflecting off the lake and spilling into my office. I didn't need revenge. I had results. If you've ever been dismissed, sidelined, or eclipsed by one louder, less capable, subscribe. Camille's ascent begins. Her next moves redefine industry. Rachel spent years feigning skill, parroting jargon, charming rooms unearned. Now exposed, Helen, who bet on image over talent, watched her decision unravel. At Architect, my grander moves deployed. My system wasn't merely running. It was. Project life cycles were slashed by a revolutionary 52%. Client delight metrics hit an all-time high, and operational KPIs soared beyond expectation. Jared had already approved full-scale rollout across divisions, and 3 Fortune 100 giants were in negotiation to license my platform. They underestimated me. Now they're desperate to catch up. One crisp Thursday morning, 6 months after I left Westlake Strategies, I walked into my Architect office to find Jared Lewis standing by my desk holding a folded copy of the Chicago Business Ledger. "Have you seen this?" Westlake Strategies announces emergency restructure amid mass departures and system collapse. The front page headline declared. I grasped the paper, nodding. Looks like they're dismantling everything, finally admitting how badly they mishandled their people, Jared commented. They attempted an in-house rebuild of your platform, but they fundamentally misunderstood its core. I explained, already aware they perceived it as mere code, yet it was the intricate logic underpinning it that fostered its scalability. Jared offered a slow, knowing smile, the kind that emerges from witnessing the long game triumph, which is precisely why the board unanimously voted to promote you, he stated. Commencing next week, you will assume the mantle of our Executive Vice President of Strategic Innovation. You have not merely enhanced our systems, you have fundamentally redefined our trajectory. A quiet warmth suffused my chest. This was true recognition, not cheap applause, but deep respect for crafting something real. Later that afternoon, as Chicago's skyline blazed gold in the sunset, an unexpected critical email landed in my inbox from Helen McBride. Subject: Apology. I assume you've heard the chaos at Westlake. I want you to know I was profoundly wrong. Dismissing your work was the gravest mistake of my career. The board now sees. They know what you built and what they sacrificed. I resigned last week. Rachel stepped down a month ago. Turns out, outcomes ignore charm. Gaze fixed, raw emotion. Validation arrived. Unneeded, yet poetic. Helen's email. I know it's too late to change what happened, but I wanted you to know you were right. Results do matter. I just wish I'd seen that sooner. Best Helen. Read it twice. A time existed when such a message could break me. Belated recognition might heal. That time was gone. That chapter was over. In my opulent corner office at Architect Solutions, sunlight kissed the glass of my patent. A symbol of innovation. Behind me, a gleaming plaque celebrated our record quarter. On the shelf, a fresh Forbes lay open, spotlighting me as a top 10 woman revolutionizing tech. Helen's message? A forgotten whisper, not a reckoning, now just a footnote. I typed, "Thank you for your message. You're right. Results truly matter. I wish you well in what comes next." I hit send, then surveyed my domain. Every single inch, every single ounce of respect within this space was meticulously earned, never gifted or bartered. The very next morning, I convened a full team meeting, the room rapidly filled with engineers, analysts, and designers. Not a single soul was present merely to be seen. They were there because their passion burned brightly. Once settled, I addressed them. Before we dive into our next major rollout, I want to share a brief story. It's not about strategy or code, but about value, about recognizing it in others, and about resolutely refusing to let anyone else dictate your inherent worth. Heads nodded, eyes sharpened, and the shared understanding was palpable, forging something truly impactful together. As I spoke, heads began to align, eyes sharpened, people leaned in, drawn by the undeniable substance behind my words. They understood, they saw this company, our company, wasn't driven by facade or ego. It thrived on integrity, on courage, on the profound belief that quiet strength, when powerfully aligned with purpose, ignites movements. That evening, driving past Westlake Strategies, I paused at the light. Their once proud logo, etched into the building's facade, now seemed weathered, its prominence visibly dimmed by time, and the consequence of a lease signing blinked weakly in the fourth-floor window, a symbol of downsizing again. Yet I felt no smugness, only profound gratitude. Gratitude they didn't see me. Gratitude they dismissed my creation. For in pushing me out, they liberated me to forge something far superior. Sometimes the most precious gifts arrive disguised as rejection. Sometimes an excessive focus on outcomes is precisely the trait that renders you unstoppable. And occasionally, the ultimate response to being underestimated is to construct something so monumental, it leaves them utterly speechless. My phone buzzed. A message from Tariq lighting up the screen. Westlake's board was asking about me, wondering if I'd consider returning as CEO. I stared at the screen, then typed back slowly. Appreciate it, Tariq, but I'm exactly where I need to be. Because true success isn't about going back to prove anyone wrong. It's about proving yourself right. It's about standing firm in your own value, especially when no one else does. It's about refusing to shrink for someone else's comfort and choosing to rise for your own purpose, and that's precisely where this narrative truly ignites as I navigated my Lincoln Park townhome's garage. It struck me then, contemplating the countless Camillas out there. Those silent professionals, consistently delivering stellar work, yet perpetually overlooked simply for not being the loudest or engaging in political maneuvering. Perhaps my lived experience, this very story, will resonate with one of them, Maybe it'll serve as the catalyst they need, the prompt to abandon the wait for validation and boldly commence construction, unhindered by it. After all, rejection isn't always a terminal destination. It's often a powerful redirection. Embrace the dismissal, embrace the silence, and you transform that initial drive into robust systems, enduring platforms, and lasting legacies, proving that your too much was simply code for beyond their comprehension. That evening in my home office, examining global licensing proposals for the system I once secretly crafted, a profound tranquility washed over me. Above my desk, framed in matte black, hung the quote Helen once threw at me like a barb. "You're excessively fixated on outcomes." She wasn't entirely incorrect. That very focus propelled me to leadership, to innovation, to a state of absolute clarity, to exactly where I needed to be. I always vowed to live authentically on my own terms. If you've reached this point, thank you sincerely. This narrative transcends my personal experience. It resonates with everyone ever labeled as excessive, overly driven, excessively earnest, or simply inadequate in unconventional ways. If my journey mirrors your own, I'm eager to connect. Share your story in the comments, detailing your current stage. I understand the isolation that can accompany diligent effort, tangible achievements, yet persistent oversight. I've been there, and I assure you, you are seen, you matter. You're not demanding the impossible when you simply desire recognition for your invaluable contributions. If this narrative resonated with you, kindly contemplate subscribing, not merely to stay updated, but to actively participate in a movement championing understated power, deserved triumph, and steadfast resilience. We are forging a space for kindred spirits. My single piece of guidance: cease seeking validation, refuse to diminish yourself for others' ease, and never allow anyone's lack of vision to dictate your potential. When value morphs into doubt, weaponize their disbelief, transform their silence into a canvas for creation, relentlessly build, and consistently show up. Because destiny unveils their loss as you ascend to realms sculpted solely by your determination. This is your divine cue. Seize this instant, forgo proving naysayers wrong, and solely validate your inherent self-worth.